All right. We are back up. I'm sorry. I'm not able to get CP's channel up. There's been some technical difficulties with his personal YouTube channel. So I'm sorry about that, everybody on Knicks Fan TV side. If you want to continue the show, you come on the KOT show side to watch the rest of the show. I do see there is somebody in the queue. Might be a short show. There's only one person in the queue. I believe if the phones are still up and working, I'm gonna try to get this show going. This is Knicks fan. This is the post game live show, only show for the fans by the fans. If you're a diehard Knicks fan, this is the place for you. Trying to get this show together, man. Trying to get this thing popping. Mercury is in retrograde. Let me tell you. Mercury is in retrograde today. CP caught a strike, man. CP caught a strike. I'm not sure how or why. What's going on over there? They might get me next. I don't know. But I'm gonna try to keep the show going. Cause for the fans, because I know you guys are kind of waiting and anticipating for the post game live show. Do not want to disappoint you. It's a black. So yo, sometimes just is what it is, man. It sometimes just is what it is. Things happen that are beyond your control. Yeah, it was mad random. I never seen something like that, like the claim during the live stream. I never seen that before. Shoot, they might get me. I don't know. Maybe CP's bigger, so they got. I don't know. But shoot, maybe we will change to Twitter mode for now to keep the heat off me. You know what I mean? I think the phone lines are open though. I think the phone lines are open. I'm going to Twitter screen mode right now. Phone lines are open, so if you want to call and talk about the game, the phone lines are open right now. Weird night. Phone lines are now up. CP is down. 657-383-1509 is the number right now. Hold on, I'm getting some info from my guy. So if you want to talk, and talk to your boy Jay Ellis, then you can right now. We can get this popping. How's the volume for you guys, man? Is the volume good? Let me know. Let me know. Got the headphones in tonight. Oh, is the House of Highlights? The House of Highlights volumes is playing right now. Is that what's happening right now? Hold on a second. Shut that down. Let me shut that down. All right. Volume is good. Yeah, man. Volume is good right about now. I'm transitioning out. Boom, here we go. All right, we about to take some calls, man. Let's go to Delano from North Carolina. He wants to talk about tonight's game. Weird night, man.
Yo,
Very,
what's
very
going on,
weird
Jay
night.
Ellis? How you feeling?
It's weird. This is a weird night, man. It's a weird night. I'm doing it right, though, Golan. How you
Yeah, it
doing,
is
though?
a weird night. I mean, Dennis Smith Jr. played well. Weird indeed.
Mercury is in
No, I mean,
retrograde. Man, Mercury
yeah,
is in
man. Salute
retrograde,
to
dog.
everybody in the chat, though. You know the vibes already, man. Appreciate you holding it down for, you know what I'm saying, Nick Fan TV and Nick and Tom and all that.
Yeah, for sure,
You
for
know, I'm
sure.
gonna be honest. I as hard as easy as it is to say that, okay, well, the Rockets are a better team and we already know that. You know, it really bothers me how oftentimes James Harden gets away with murder
Oh
on that
yeah,
court.
oh yeah, without a
He
doubt.
does everything wrong and gets no calls. I've seen that push off
Yeah,
where
man.
he isolated against Dennis. That's a push.
That was
You just
definitely a
called
push.
that yesterday against Jason Tatum. You don't call that against James Harden?
No.
And then you wonder why he's one of the most hated or most criticized guys that you have in the league.
Oh
Stuff
yeah.
like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. All
Now,
throughout the first quarter, we was in a bad end of a lot of calls, a lot of foul calls. There was calling a lot of things. We played pretty decent defense in that first quarter. There was a lot of blocks that were called fouls, and definitely that little chicken wing thing that he did when he pushed up Dennis.
yeah.
That was definitely an offensive foul in my eyes, man.
And then, like I said, for me, my problem is with players like Julius Randle. It's games like these where you should be getting those 30-point games because you can have your way with the defense.
Yeah,
Who really has the strength to hold you down in the post? And you don't go to that. And then
yeah,
you sit here and wonder why you're the most criticized guy on the Knicks right now.
yeah, man. You know
It's
what?
like
Go
the
ahead, sir.
opportunities. No, you good. No, I'm just saying the opportunities to take advantage, you don't take advantage. You
Yeah,
want to be a jump shooter when you should be playing in the post.
I,
You want to be a ball handler when you should just be in position.
I feel you.
It baffles me. And then I sit here and I always said that this is why I was saying yesterday in the post with on the stream with CP in regards to Tom Thibodeau and the rumor of his hiring. It's a bad idea. And I say that because Tom Thibodeau has a name. And with that name attached to that is going to be expectations that we really can't deliver on because we don't have the personnel.
Right.
Again, he was successful in Chicago, in my opinion, because he had, again, the team had an identity, had a culture already, and his philosophy fit with that. That's why he was so unsuccessful in Minnesota, because you don't have that mentality, you don't have that philosophy, and we share
Yeah,
the same situation with Minnesota. We don't have that identity or that philosophy. You have three or four players that are defensive minded, and then the rest of the team is hit or miss.
yeah. No,
And then
yeah.
you expect Tom Thibodeau to somehow turn that around? Stick with Mike Miller or get a college coach. That way you fly under the radar and anything you do is not expected. But as long as your trajectory is going upwards instead of downwards, you won't get the continuous criticism and we won't continue to be the laughing stock of the NBA. And James Dolan can finally get the heat off of him because we're looking at him now. Like, look, you got rid of the people that you had in charge, and you're still giving us bad. It's you. You're the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, man.
But
Yeah,
we can't get rid of you.
nah, yeah, you're dead on. The thing with Tibbs is he has his crutch, man. He has his crutch in the old Bulls players. He's tried to get, Jimmy Butler and Dennis and Derrick Rose on his team because he's used to them and he relies on them to play the exact same way he likes to play. But part of being a coach is being able to teach whatever crop of guys you have how to play the way you want to play or just adjust to your personnel and utilize their strengths
Right.
and weaknesses. And I'm not sure if he was able to do that with the Timberwolves, and that's what kind of worries me about bringing Tibbs over here into New York, which is why, even though Mike Miller is kind of pissing me off with these Mo Harkless lineup, I'm not gonna lie, I've been Team Mike Miller for like this whole time. These last two games, I've been a little bit weird on him, but I still feel like Mike Miller might be the better choice at this time, at least. If it's not Jeff Van Gundy to me, because if it's not Jeff Van Gundy, because I feel like Jeff can coach too. But to your point, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree
Matter of
with you.
fact, let me add two. Yeah, I would love to add two more points in that too. For one, um, and this is why I tell a lot of people if you watch the NBA from the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, we were spoiled. We hate to
Oh
admit
yeah,
stuff like that because of how bad it sounds, but we were spoiled because
absolutely.
at that point, no matter what you want to say about the talent, effort was always there on any given night to every single team. There's not one person you can sit there and say, well, he didn't really play on both ends of it
Oh yeah,
wasn't a requirement to play on both ends of the floor. It was your honor. It was your privilege. It was your pride. You didn't
Yes.
have to. Again, we celebrate Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and anytime LeBron plays defense, like it's some kind of a badge. Like, no, isn't that what you do when you play basketball? You don't
Yeah.
have an offensive and a defensive scheme. A defensive line like you do in football or baseball, where you have somebody coming in on a defensive purposes and offensive purposes. That's your job. You play both ends of the floor. All of a sudden now it's like, oh, thank God we have those guys. No, what's wrong with the league? We were spoiled back in the day, which
Uh,
leads me to the problem that I have with these coaches. They're old school coaches.
yeah.
That is their job and requirement,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're not the guys to request it. They demand it. And
Yeah.
today's youth don't seem to respond to anything that comes off as aggressive. So that's when they see the coaches get fired
Yeah.
before, 30
Mm-hmm.
games or something like that. I couldn't get along with the coach, so he was bothered. He was pestering me, and I didn't appreciate that. And you're paying me $38 million to be a baby on the side. We got to stop that. These guys, I don't know what it is in their mindset that changed, but this is why, again, like basketball for me, there's a little bit. I can understand how some people can lose the passion and the love for the game, because if you grew up like I grew up and watch what I grew up watching, then you're spoiled and you don't really have a high tolerance for what we see nowadays. Then on
Absolutely.
top of that, the question I've always asked is, who has Tom Thibodeau really developed in regards to, you know, offense and all that stuff, rookies and all that? Because Jimmy Butler was a hard worker. Jimmy Butler was a guy that didn't have the quote unquote talent, and he's already admitted that he didn't have the talent that Andrew Wiggins and Cat came in the league with.
Absolutely.
His hard work is what put him in that position to be the all-star level player that he is. He wasn't
Absolutely.
gifted that. So his mentality isn't the same as a Cat and a Andrew Wiggins who weren't developed.
Absolutely.
So you had the benefit of hard workers and guys that came in with their hard hats and their lunch pails and said, let's get to work in Chicago.
Yep.
And you didn't have the benefit of having to deal with any young guys. The young guys never even saw the floor in Chicago for real. If it wasn't Derrick Rose basically creating for himself and having to create for others, what was the offensive scheme going to be?
Yeah, yeah, and here's the thing with him too. Like, I don't want to completely crap on Tibbs because Tibbs, he took that Bulls team to like a few playoffs, Eastern Conference Finals, and he even, he did help them out at some point. But you're still absolutely right in that regard. Like I am afraid of his temperament and how he can kind of just gel with the young guys. He has that old school mentality, is my way or the highway, and I don't think that's gonna work in today's NBA with these kids who are so sensitive and this is the Instagram era, dog. Like that's not gonna work. That's why we got rid of Jeff Hornacek in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So I understand exactly what you mean when it comes to Tibbs, and we are spoiled. Like the Knicks have made the playoffs. I think they've made the playoffs like 15 to 20 straight years before we got on this crazy run where we just been sucking. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
we've absolutely been spoiled, and we talked about this before. Today's players aren't like yesterday's players. They don't come in as ready, so you need a lot more coaching than usual,
yeah,
and that's why I kind of like Mike Miller, who's coached people up from the G League, and maybe he can kind of replicate that here. Hopefully, he will have more than half a season to do that. Maybe even bring up more of his development staff to the big boy league. That's what I really
right.
think we should do. But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. I'm band 1,000 with me though. I agree with all points, man.
And before I go, I do want to. I've been extending apologies the entire time to everybody. Let me extend the apology to you as well. I want to apologize because I was campaigning heavily for Steve Mills to get fired. We finally got rid of Steve
Eh,
Mills,
listen, man.
and for some reason, we didn't decide let's go ahead and take our time and get somebody who is credible. Let's not get somebody who has experience. Let's go out there immediately and get a novice.
I was always afraid of
If this
this.
was the point, If this was the direction I should have campaigned for myself to be the president of basketball, I could have come in there and pulled the Eddie and just
Hey,
took our
man.
team to the playoffs and made us from laughing stock to contenders.
I'm
I
sure.
could have done that and
I'm sure.
probably asked for you and CP to come along board,
Hey,
and we
man.
would have turned this team around. And for some reason, we're stuck with now Leon Rose and hoping to God that he does a better job than Steve Mills.
I hope so, man. Appreciate the call, man. Definitely appreciate the call, dog.
No doubt. Salute to everybody and salute to you again. Have a good night.
All right, man. Good night, man. Yeah. Phone lines are open if you want to talk after this Knicks loss to the Rockets. Shout out to my guy Delano, kind of held down the phone lines after this crazy night. He's absolutely right, man. Listen, man, we talked about this earlier. We talked about what could happen if Steve Mills were fired, if we actually get our wish. Because just because Steve Mills is fired doesn't mean everything magically changes. Like, we all know all of the wrong things Steve Mills has done. We all know he gave Ron Baker $8 million even though he didn't deserve it. We all know he gave Tim Hardaway Jr. $72 million when nobody was trying to pay him over 48. Like, we all know the moves he made. We all know that. Like, we ended up having to trade Tim Hardaway Jr. for cap space because of the moves he made. But the big problem is Dolan is really not a basketball guy and a basketball mind. So even with Steve Mills gone, he's still not sure what he's going to do and who he's going to hire. Right now, he's hiring Leon Rose. And you're just hoping that Leon knows what he's doing. It seems like some of these guys are liking him. It seems like the media personality says, hey, Leon Rose is the guy. He's a smart guy. He's likable. Everybody loves him. He's a good character guy, which is cute. It's cute. But I know somebody else who's a smart guy, who was likable, who we hired last season, and his name was David Fizdale. You know what I mean? David's. But you know what? We'll see. Have to wait. We have to wait and see what happens. I'm hoping Leon Rose makes all the right decisions. Latest news in Knicks Nation, that of course you've heard, was Tom Thibodeau, broken by very own Twitter grown Jonathan Macri, who reported that Tom Thibodeau will be a coach for the New York Knicks, 90% chance. So we all waiting. We all are waiting to see what happens with Tom Thibodeau if he becomes part of the New York Knicks. But who knows? Who knows? Because Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant were all supposed to be New York Knicks, but they're not here. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Yeah, Macri with the stats, man. But shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody who's watching the show right now. Phone lines are open. The phone lines, no one's supposed to call on now. I know it's a rough night. Knicks versus the Rockets. CP's channel doing some weird stuff. His channel's not shut down. It's the stream. The stream got shut down. His channel is fine. The stream got shut down. So I believe the channel is fine. So everybody chill out. He's still cool. I think he just worked things out with those guys and clear it out. He should be fine. But I'm here talking Knicks with you guys. Post-game live show, only show for the fans and by the fans. If you're a diehard Knicks fans, definitely hit that thumbs up button. This is the place for you. And if you want to talk that Knicks versus Rockets game, call us up. If you want to talk anything else, Knicks, also hit me up. 657-383-1509. Also, you know what? I'm a harken back to the RJ game. One thing I really want to see from this game. Yep. One thing I really wanted to see from this game was RJ featured more. I know we've all been wanting RJ to be featured more, and we started to see kind of what it would look like. And listen, I know the Knicks aren't clicking right now, but I'm really excited to see what RJ can do in the summer, to see if he can bring his game to the next level. Because as Delano was saying before about people who put in the hard work. He talked about Jimmy Butler. He talked about Jimmy Butler putting in the hard work and Jimmy Butler becoming Jimmy Butler because he put in the hard work. I feel like RJ has that same it factor where he's going to put in that hard work and he's just not afraid because he showed today he's not afraid. My only concern today was really, and Alan Hahn pointed this out on Twitter, RJ Barrett went 6 for 8 in the first quarter, only shot one shot in the second. It's time to get him that. It's time to get that man the ball. It's definitely time to get that man the ball with 26 games left in the season, out of contention. Elfrid hurt. We know what Elf can do. We see what Randall can do. You see his inconsistencies. We have to start trying to figure out the pieces that we have for the future, and it starts with RJ. We definitely need to run this game more through RJ than anybody else, just to get that momentum going, just to get him comfortable. And then you know what? Who knows? Next season, maybe we'll just get him in the groove because RJ's ceiling is RJ can't be that guy to run an offense. I know he doesn't have a jump shot as of yet, but you saw what happens today when the jump shot was clicking. Now, granted, he played a little bit point guard. He threw some bad passes. He got some turnovers, but this is the growing pains. And I know people was kind of mad at me before talking about, you know what, run the game through RJ, run the game through RJ. People are saying, oh, he's not ready. He's not ready to have the game run through him. You know what I say to that? So what if he's not ready? Who cares if he's not ready? This is on-the-job training, man. On-the-job training. Get ready. We can get RJ ready. How many of you guys, I know me, how many of you guys are going to job interviews, said I know how to do something, don't really know how to do it, and then figure it out once you get the job? I know I've done it. I was like, oh yeah, that I know. On the job training, bro. On the job training. Figure it out. Because here's the thing with talent and mentality. If you have the talent and you have the mentality that you're going to push through, you're going to learn. You're going to figure things out. And that's the type of mentality that RJ has. So that's my big message from Jay Ellis to the world, to the front office, even to Leon Rose, to Scott Perry. Hand down those instructions. Let RJ Barrett run wild or run free. Have him run the offense. And guess what? Fizdale even had a point. Fizdale, people were calling Fizdale for having RJ. People calling Fizdale crazy for having him run the point. Hey, man, I might even have him run point sometime too. You see what he was doing today? If he's a playmaker, hey, have him run the point sometimes too. Especially we got Frank messing with his groin, DSJ's all over the place. Like, let's go. Let RJ run free. I'm ready for it, man. Chick Diop says, why are we not playing Trier? That's a great question. At this point, we should be training Trier. To be honest, man, I'm surprised Trier is still on the team. Like, before the trade deadline, I was reading things in the news that said that Alonzo, that, you know, they was going to move Alonzo just, you know, for Alonzo's sake, because he's not getting burned. He's a young player with potential, not getting burned. So I at least thought that he would be moved at some capacity just because he's just being wasted away on the bench. So at this point, with nowhere to go, we should just play him. Cause I just feel like he's gonna walk anyway. I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening with Trier, but he definitely needs some burn. And you saw what he did today: 9 points, very limited minutes. Knicks actually outscored the Rockets in the fourth quarter, which is crazy. But I mean, it's not that crazy because the game was over, so they let it go. But shout out to Lonzo Trier, man. Keep your head up. I'm not sure if it's gonna work with you on the Knicks, but it should work with you somewhere. There is some talent there, but definitely should get some burn for sure, for sure. Lucas Miles says, "Why is Harkless getting minutes?" This is the great mystery. Listen, Harkless is a great player. Don't get me wrong. Like when I say great, I don't mean great in the sense of he's like Kobe or something like that, or like a star player who can take over the game. Great in the sense of he does little things. He's not a shooter, but he's a good role player. You know what I mean? He's a good role player, but he does not fit this team. Now today, I see what Mike Miller was trying to do. Hey, oh my bad, I'm sorry, Shout out to Baduk, man. Shout out to Baduk for the super chat. Who says props to JS for holding down the strange night. Salute. Thank you, thank you. Also shout out to my guy Michael Parker for the super chat as well. Sorry, man. And also shout out to Danny Thomas for says first time on your channel. Draft Cash is Stanley. I'm not sure who Draft Cash is Stanley is, but I'll look him up. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. All right, but back to the Mo Harkless situation though. I see what Mike Miller was trying to do with Mo Harkless. He felt more comfortable throwing Mo Harkless onto James Harden to play defense. And it worked a few times in the second half where it seemed like Mo Harkless was slowing him down, and maybe it worked a little bit better because the team defense was better. It seems like we were blitzing the pick and roll, trapping them, caused a few turnovers. It seems like guys like Randall, who was missing rotations in the first half, were actually rotating a whole lot better in that second half. Maybe if you did that in that first half, things would be better. But that's why Mo Harkless was in this game. Even though I really didn't agree with it, I wanted some more shooting. And it might help a little bit defensively, but I felt like it helped the Rockets load up on Randall, which caused Randall to have a lot of turnovers. And also, Randall, sometimes he gets that tunnel vision where he doesn't want to pass it out. And this was one of those nights where they were double or triple teaming him when he was in the post, and he should have passed it out a lot more than we did. And that's why I ran out of a terrible night. So to answer your question, why Mo Harkless is in the game, I don't know, dog. I know, but I don't know. I know, but I don't know. It might be. It's time for Mo Harkless, more problems. You read about that, TM. Mo Harkless, more problems. It's time. I would like to see Dotson in this game to start, man. Dotson in Houston, hometown. Been shooting well, hasn't been in that many minutes. Let the dot roam free. Although I do feel like sometimes Harden kind of cooks Dotson sometimes in a one-on-one situation, so I understand it. But I would like to see some Dot get some more playing time. Everybody knows I'm a Dot guy though, so And also free Iggy for sure, man. At this point, I would definitely give Iggy some obnoxious minutes since both of them kind of tweeners. It sucks because Knox theoretically, and I'm saying theoretically, has a higher ceiling than Iggy, but Iggy just knows how to play. Like Iggy is a smarter defender, could probably shoot the three ball. It seems like he can. Who knows? He's only been doing it in the G League. It has to translate into the regular league. Who knows that will? But I definitely want to see Iggy brought up with 25 games left. There's nothing else to lose. You're not going to the playoffs right now. Let these young guys go. Bring up Iggy. Bring up Wooten. Hell, bring up Lamar Peters, man. Listen, we down right now. We got Elf Payton down. Franklin Lakina, groin, DSJ. Yo, bring up Lamar Peters. This guy is shooting 43% from the three-point line in the G League right now. Right now. And I think he's like leading that team in the six with 6 assists. Something we can need. We definitely need three-point shooting because as you saw today, DSJ, as good as he is, he's kind of still scared to shoot that three-pointer because they leave him open. They definitely leave him open. He actually hit one today. I give him credit for that, but they do leave him open. But shout out to DSJ, had 5 assists. Even though the offense kind of ran weird when he was in the game, still ends up with 5 assists. Pretty good night defensively as well from DSJ. I think he had 7 steals. 5 assists, 7 steals on the night. Shout out to DSJ, who did well, kind of. Even though I'd like to see him, run the offense a little bit better. But 7 steals is nothing to sneeze at. He definitely took the challenge, and I definitely think that James Harden pushing him down to the floor woke him up defensively because he was locked in from then on. Something about getting embarrassed kind of wakes you up sometimes. He got embarrassed for sure. Oh, yo, shout out to Fritz Alexander, who just reminded me Wooten had surgery today. I think surgery on his thumb. So I'm not sure how long Wooten will be out. But so I guess he wouldn't be able. It sucks because I definitely would like him to be brought up. But he had surgery on his thumb. Not sure how long it will take him to heal. But shouts out to Wooten. Hopefully he's healed pretty soon. Yep. Hi, man. Yo, salute to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all a diehard Knicks fan. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with your boy Jay Ellis after the Knicks versus Rockets game. CP channel. The live stream went down. Tried to restream it. Some weird stuff happened, but so now we here. Don't have the real highlights now because I don't want to get in trouble. We're gonna try to take care of that stuff in the back end. He should be back up and running for the next game anyway. But salute to everybody who's on the chat right now. Shout out to Gregory Lee, Yao Song, TM, Fritz Alexander, who's the editor of the KOT show. Definitely check out. New episode of KOT dropping tomorrow on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. My guy Dallas, he's gonna be talking a lot about the X's and O's that Mike Miller runs. And also talking about, minute distribution, Tom Thibodeau, all that stuff. Really good episode. One of my favorite episodes so far this season. So definitely gotta check that out tomorrow. It will be on YouTube as well on Wednesday. But shout out to Gregory Lee Alexander. Shout out to Angel Reyes. Shout out to Lucas. Says Knox should be playing through his problems, like you said, for RJ on the job training. Thank you for the cosign, my brother. Shout out to Bad Book. Shout out to Robert Paris. Shout out to everybody watching, man, holding it down for Knicks Fan TV and my guy CP. Super weird night. Phone lines are open, but nobody wants to call. But that's cool. We can wrap it up then. It is 12 midnight. People go to sleep. I got a job in the morning. But before you leave, before I shut down, definitely subscribe to the channel if it's your first time watching the channel. Definitely a diehard Knicks fan trying to hold it down with my guy CP. And while you're here, definitely check out some old episodes of Nick of Time Show. Had a great episode with Tommy Beer a few weeks ago. Definitely check that out on the channel. And definitely a new episode is dropping in a few days. Thanks, man. Decent show, yo. Thanks, Valentino. Decent show, man. Regardless, one caller, your boy Jay Ellis, breaking down the game, talking Tom Thibodeau. A lot more Tom Thibodeau talk on the pod tomorrow's dropping, so definitely look out for that. But thanks for the love, Valentine. So definitely on the KT show right now. It's your first time doing it. Definitely subscribe, like, and all that noise. But I am going to be ground. Thanks, man. Thanks, Baduk, man. Thanks, appreciate the love, yo. And shout out to Knicks Fan TV Dave, man. Knicks Fan TV Dave always holding it down. Up mad late with us, moderating, making sure people on the lines are talking great to us, man. So shout out to you. Definitely check out the blog too. Got some great writers like Ken. Knicks Fan TV Dave has actually written for us as well. But definitely check out the blogs on nickoftimeshow.com and also check out the merch. We got Mitchell merch, Frank Lakina merch, Kevin Knox merch, RJ Barrett merch. We got merch right here that we got right now in the background. So definitely check that out. nickoftimeshow.com. And that is all, man. New episode dropping. Love you guys. Peace.